Who the man? Who the man? Who the man? Who the man?
Plus sign, multiply, subtract, and divide. Get math in your mind, then you'll see your dollars rise. Teachers have your kids play video games, cause it helps to get the math facts into the brain. Simple and plain, we educate with minimal strain. Have fun, everybody now, isn't it great? Try some long division today, we just give it away. No time limits, you can...
All right, hello, welcome to the Real video number 15. This young man is Mr. Lewis, I'm Mr. Miller, and actually Mr. Schofer is here too. He might jump in with some politics in a few minutes if we can get him inspired. Today's topic is interpreting box plots.
You're a spacebar man.
All right. Ooh. Okay, we found a wonderful worksheet that has a lot of concepts, and this is related to the homework pack for the weekend. So if you go through this, hopefully that pack will be a lot easier for you. All right, I'm going to be the question man. Okay. Lewis, you're going to be the answer man.
Oh, man.
This is easy.
Or something.
So here we have a box and whisker graph. It says the costs in dollars of 12 CDs. So, all right, Mr. Lewis, which cost is the upper quartile?
The upper quartile would be quartile 3, or do you want the final quartile?
By upper, they usually mean Q3.
Okay, so Q3 would be 26.
All right.
Just to make sure you guys aren't confused. All right.
Yeah, the lower quartile would be Q1. The upper, they're referring to Q3. All right, what is the range of cost of the CDs?
Well, the range would be from, looks like 7 to 29. So 7 minus 29 would give you 22.
Yeah, so 29 minus 27. So sometimes when people say the range of costs, they might say they vary from 7 to 29. The actual statistic range is the max minus the min.
Right.
So sometimes that word's used both ways. All right, Mr. Lewis, so far 2 out of 2. What's the median?
That's good. The median, ooh, it looks like right here between 20 and 21. I'm going to go 20.5.
Smooth, we're rolling. All right, let's see how good you are at percentiles. Which cost represents the 100th percentile?
100th percentile, that's got to be our max at 29.
And why?
Because we go from min to max. This is the 25th percentile. This is 25 to 50, 50 to 75, and this is 75 to 100. So this is 100% of the data.
Good. So 100% of the data is less than 29. All right. How many CDs cost between $14.50 and $26?
All right. Well, 14.50 is right here at Q3. And right here, 26, that would be, I'm sorry, Q1, and this would be Q3, so that would be the middle 50% of the data. So 50% of 12, 6.
Yeah, now sometimes, this is a trick question. If they didn't tell us there were 12 data items, we wouldn't know the actual number. We just know that there's 50%.
That is
true. Be careful. There's some trick questions on this where they don't tell you how many data items there are. All right, Mr. Lewis, one left. How many CDs cost less than $14.50?
Well, less than $14.50, that would be all the stuff here in the lower 25%. So 25% of 12 is 3.
Okay, hit it.
All right.
That's me. All right.
All right, now it's my turn to answer.
Okay, you're still
Or
right.
ask. Well, I think we realized from the last video I should be the one writing. Yeah. What is the median score of this data?
It's right there in the middle, 75.
75, bam. Okay, so what score represents then the first quartile?
I think I'm getting easier questions.
I think so too.
70, that's where the box begins, in the box plot.
Okay. So which statement is not true about the Boskin-Whisper plot below?
Wow, they all look so good. Let me look real carefully. 100 represents the maximum. No, 85 represents the third quartile. That's true. 55 represents the minimum score. Oh, it is A. There's something unusual in A. Could you underline the word mean there?
I certainly can.
Yeah, the middle value is the median, not the mean. They're not necessarily the same. In fact, in this graph, they're definitely not the same. We'll talk about that later. So 75 is the median, not the mean. That one's bogus. All right.
All right, and last one. A score of an 85 on the Boskin-Whisper plot refers to what?
Mr. Lewis, it is number 1, the third quartile. 75% of the data is less than 85.
All right.
Your turn, man.
You would have been great on pyramid.
Okay, Mr. Lewis. A movie theater recorded the number of tickets sold daily for a popular movie during the month of June. The box and whisker plot shown below represents the data for the number of tickets sold in hundreds. What conclusion can be made using this plot?
So, second quartile is 600. Well, that looks like the third quartile to me. The mean is 400. That's the median.
Ooh, they're trying that trick again.
The range is 300 to 600. Well, that would be a kind of range, but that would be the interquartile range.
I know which one it
And
is.
then 25% is between 300 and 400. I'm going to go with 4.
All right, good choice. Okay. All right, what do we got
Okay,
here?
here we go. The accompanying box and whisker plots can be used to compare the annual incomes of 3 professions. Nuclear engineer, I have a friend who's one of those.
Really?
Police officer, and musician. I don't know any of those.
I see that the highest musician beats the highest nuclear engineer. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, well,
All right.
but notice it's kind of like way out here in the outlier kind of section.
Yeah, not too many. There's the lowest musician is a whole other story.
All right, based on the box and whisker plots, which statement below would be true?
Wow, the median income for nuclear engineers is greater than the income of all musicians. Where's the median for the nuclears? Can you
Right
put a little
here.
mark by there? Okay. And that's greater than the income of all musicians? That's not true. It's
Yeah.
greater than some of the incomes of musicians. Not all. Cross off one.
Okay.
That's a lie.
Almost done.
All right. The median income for police officers and musicians is about the same. Ooh, that looks true. Circle 2.
All right.
But Mr. Lewis, I'm neurotic. I have to read them all.
Okay.
I have to be certain.
You know.
So all nuclear engineers can earn more than all police officers. No, that's not true.
Yeah, because we got this section right down.
Yeah, there are a few police officers who earn more than the lower nuclear engineers. All right, a musician will eventually earn more than a police officer. What's wrong with that?
Because I don't think this moves into an eventually thing. This is just all
Yeah,
the salaries.
There's no time element here.
Yeah.
So there's no guarantee that the lower musicians are going to earn more. So it might even get worse. So we can't conclude 4. All right,
Alright.
it is 2. All right, Mr. Lewis, go for it. The data set, as listed there, represents the number of hours spent on the internet in a week by students during math class?
Oh.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, in a mathematics class. They're probably online watching videos. You know, we're not the only videos around. Have you seen some of the other staff videos?
I have, actually.
Yeah.
They're not as good as us.
Yeah, no. Which box and whisker plot represents the data? Okay, so we have the data. We have to match the graph. Mr. Lewis, how are you going to do this? He doesn't even have a calculator.
I don't.
Well, he does. He's not using it.
So I'm going to look at this as, let's see, the min here of the data is 5. So this one's at 2. So I'm going to say 1 is out.
Oh, one's
Okay.
bogus.
So all these are at 5. Okay, but then I'm going to notice that the medians here are all different. So I'm going to try and find the median of our data.
So the
it's
median is the
519.
deciding factor, huh?
It is. I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way. Obviously, if I used a
Oh,
calculator, it could
the
be
truth is
faster.
becoming known.
Looks like it's at 10. Ooh, number 2 seems to be my guy.
Wow, very good. So to summarize, how did you use elimination?
Well, I knew the median was the middle of the numbers, so I just would cross off 1 at the beginning, 1 at the end, all the way following that technique down. I was left with 1 number remaining, and that was 10. If there was an even set of numbers, I would have had 2 remaining, and I would have found the average of those 2.
Okay, good. I like how you cross off the ones, or at least the first one with the wrong minimum. So just looking for clues. Has the wrong minimum, has the wrong maximum. Then you focused on, well, which one has the median right?
Yeah, working through that multiple choice test taking skills,
All right.
which they should all be experts at.
Well, there's
ACT for F, right?
There's 40 in the AP test. All right, here we go. Next. Knockout punch. All right, last one. So you guys been hanging in there. You're doing well. Last question.
All right, Mr. Miller. The accompanying stem and leaf plot represents Ben's test scores. Ooh, so we're away from box plots now.
Yeah.
Got to remember back to the stem and leaves.
I almost forgot all that.
Okay, we want to know what's the median score for this data.
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, how could we figure that out?
I don't know.
Well, we could follow the same technique.
Lewis is doing the problem.
That's what happens, folks. All right, we'll just cross off these going through here. I already kind of know the answer, but I'll indulge everybody.
He's good at
we're left
this. In
we
between
have a
79
9
and 8.
1. So remember the key, right? We have 79 and 81. So, Mr. Miller, I'm going to let you finish it. What would be the median then? Those numbers.
80. So another thing you could do, we could ask Q1, Q3, interquartile range. If you wanted, you could enter the data into your calculator. Just have your calculator do one variable stats, and it'll give the 5-number summary. And so you can use your calculator to do this also.
Right. We're going to go more into that trick on Monday.
All right, it's a beautiful
We've been
trick.
holding out on you guys.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lewis. It's Friday. I'm tired. All right.
Journal time.
It's your time. Mrs. Sanchez created a box plot for the quiz scores of her first period class. That's something math teachers do. All right, list 10 things the graph tells us about the data. So just brainstorm 10 things that you can read from the graph. The hint, take the hint. 5 of those things could be the 5-number summary. So if you can come up with a 5-number summary, you're halfway done. So after that, think of 5 more things you can say about this, and we'll be going over on Monday. This was a really good worksheet. Someone named Mr. Art. I have no idea who Mr. Art is, but I want to thank him for the worksheet. It helped us a lot. Take care.
All right.